The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Thursday, 9 o'clock. You are tuning in to the last show for about a month and a half,
5
I guess.
weeks.
Yeah, looking live at a very weird Tostitos Championship Plaza. It's super sunny outside, but it's weird shadowing. Anyway, it is Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, where it is 76 degrees. The high is 93. The low is 67.
That is Nate Newton. He is Shannon. In the back is Chris Beam and company. We are without
Zaddy.
Kurt, Micah Daniels. I am Zaddy Holley.
We already started that.
Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us. Yeah, the energy's up in the back, baby, when we speak. There we go.
Got some company. School's out.
Yes.
So many things to talk about.
This segment is brought to you by
The whole show's brought to you by Wingstop,
yeah.
where flavor gets its wings. Thanks for reminding me, Jesse. So many things, so many sound bites, so much to talk about.
deciphering.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, we just can't. We should call this the Micah Parsons show.
Well, we're not going to do that.
We're not. We got to talk about Micah because Micah talked, and I'm very interested to get y'all's thoughts. But
I feel like our thoughts directly lead to Jesse's thoughts. I feel like that's how it's surmised.
it is. But we got to start the show. Very, very weird week in Cowboy land. The news came down early this week that Nate, former teammate of yours, buddy of yours, wearing the shirt, Larry Allen, number 73, passed away, very untimely death, 52 years old.
52.
1 year older than me. That hits home, man. And that's one of the, you're used to the older guys, passing, and that's just part of life. And, especially a sport like football that just takes a toll on you. And a lot of guys go way too soon. But when your generation of players, the guys that you were close to your age and that you watched and grew up on, when they start, passing away, it hits a little bit different, especially in this building. So, Nate, you're wearing the shirt as a tribute to number 73. Well,
yes.
What are your thoughts, man?
Just a great gentleman, a next level player. There's only a few of them, and I don't, that's my only category that a lot of people can't reach. 90% of the sports world can't reach, and Larry's just a hell of a gentleman. Hell of a guy, didn't ever say much, always laughing. Hey, what's up? I can walk in and say, "What's up, Jesse?" Instead of saying, "What's up?" he just started giggling. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, what you gonna do tonight? He just look at you, start giggling like he was in his own world. You had to really work to get to know him. The way he'll start opening up and talk to you. Big E was real close to him. He kind of looked at me sometimes, I guess, as an older guy, old guy.
OG.
Yeah, so, but you talking about a guy that just smelled like football. When you see him, he was all about football. I'm telling you, if you wanted to catch him, lunchtime, watch him film. If you get there early in the morning, watch him film. After when we get out of practice, watch him film. He was
a big film guy, huh?
Him and Big E?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one day I walked up. I'm trying to be this big leader, right? So we getting ready to play Philadelphia. I'm like, hey, fellas, we need to get in there and watch some extra film. Big E looked at me like, what? Larry just started giggling. He put his hand in his ear. He started giggling. I'm like, well, what's up, man? We can't get no extra film? He said, where you been, dog? We do this every week. We do this every week. You need to join us, big fella. I'm like, okay, all right. So, of course, I didn't show up. But he, when you saw him, you just thought football. Once you realize what he did for a living, he just all about football, taking care of his family. he was just that guy. You know, now you wasn't gonna get close to him. Like even after the Hall of Fame, I hadn't talked to Larry in a while, and we knocked heads even upstairs. I'm like, how do we get in touch with Larry? How do we get Larry involved? I mean, this was the big thing for the last 5 or 6 years. But to hear he was with his family, having fun, that's a positive.
When you hear Deion Sanders talk about Hall of Fame, and he says, you know, there needs to be a different wing, right? He's like, I shouldn't be on the same wing as other folks, right? He's like, Jerry Rice should be in this wing. Deion should be in this wing.
Larry Allen.
And so my question to you is, from the offensive lineman perspective, does Larry Allen fit in that wing that Deion is talking about? Is he one of the greatest guard tackles, offensive lineman, period, in NFL history? Like, where does he fit in that pantheon of talented big boys?
Right tackle, Jackie Slater. Right guard, John Hanna. Center, Mike Webster. Left guard, Larry Allen. Left tackle, Anthony Munoz. That's my Mount Rushmore. Those are my next level guys that I will put in any generation, and they will be able to perform at a very, very high level. And Larry is one of those 5. You know, Big E would have been one, but he kind of got hit that wall, and it kind of took away some of his athletic ability. Not his meanness and his ability to work mentally, but you know, it's all about that physical thing in the end.
That's probably the offensive line is probably the position that transcends every generation. Because the rules have changed. You know, DBs, wide receivers, quarterbacks. You know, it's a fun conversation to say, hey, could this guy play in these? Offensive line, if you were nasty and dirty and you could lock somebody up, you can lock them up today. Like if you could do it back then, like you could, you know, it doesn't matter if you played in the 50s. You know,
and I agree 100% because like I tell people, like, serious, like this, we went from holding our shirts and blocking with our elbows to now using our hand. Yeah, it can transcend. Jim Otto, the great lineman, and I hope I'm getting his name right. Can you imagine trying to come off the line, holding your shirt, blocking somebody with your elbows?
No. No.
And these guys slapping you, beating you down.
With no face mask.
Yeah, come on, man.
Leather helmet.
So, yeah.
I heard Michael Irvin, he was on his podcast, and he was telling the story about Big E, and it was kind of, I guess, later on in his career, Bill Parcells was the head coach. And he said Big E and Bill Parcells kind of butted heads.
Larry.
I'm sorry, Larry. Not Big E. Larry Allen, excuse me. Larry Allen.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, Bill Parcells would come in, and he was like, you know, he was an old school coach, and he was like, if I'm going to control this locker room, I kind of almost prison mentality, right? If I get locked up, I got to go find the biggest, baddest dude and punch him in the face first and let everybody know I ain't no punk. And it was like, you know, Bill Parcells wanted to come in. Larry was kind of the veteran in the locker room, and he wanted to kind of really tell him, like, this is my locker room. You know, this is my building. And he said him and Larry just couldn't see eye to eye. And he said they were getting ready to go play a game, and he's getting ready to get on a plane and go do some work for one of the networks that he was working for at the time. And he said his phone rang, and he said, it's Jerry. He said, it's Jerry calling on the Saturday. And so he answered, he said, hello, boss, what's up? He said, Mike, you know, I only call you when he's like, hey, what's up? He said, we're on a plane right now. We're waiting to take off. Larry Allen ain't on a plane. He said, okay. He's like, I need you to go get Larry and get him on this plane. So he's like, Mike's like, well, I gotta do my stuff, boss. I gotta get. He said, listen, you can take my plane. I'll get you another plane. He said, but I need you to go get Larry on the plane. So Mike said he drives over to Larry's house, and he said he knocked on the door, and his wife answered the door, and she said when she saw it was Michael, she yelled back to Larry. She said, babe, they brought the big boys out today. And she said, Larry yelled back, send them back. And Mike went back there. He said he sat down, and he said he comes in the room, and Larry's sitting in his bedroom watching TV. So Mike said he just found his seat, sat on down, and Larry was spitting. He always had a dip cup. Yeah. Always had a dip cup. So he said he sat there. He said we just sat there for about 10, 15 minutes in silence. He goes, I didn't have anything. I didn't know how to approach this. Larry, wasn't a great talker. So he said we sat there, and then he said he finally just said, all right, big fella, listen, I'm with you. Whatever's going on, just know I'm on your side.
Right.
He goes, I'm with you. He says, if you got a plan, whatever your plan is,
Right.
I'm here to tell you, I'm with you. We gonna ride out. He said, big fella, but if you ain't got a plan, I got to get you on this plane.
Right.
So he said, Big E, he said, I keep saying Big E. Larry set up, said he spit in the cup. Said, okay. So he sat back down. So they sat there about 5 more minutes. So he finally set up again. He said, Larry said, playmaker, I ain't got no plan. So he said, all right. He said, listen, here's what he goes. It ain't about you. It ain't about Coach Parcell. He said, it's about your teammates.
Right.
He said, they expecting you to be there. They need you to be there. He said, he set up again, spit. He said, all right, playmaker. All right, I'm going to go. He said, they got up. Said he got them to the plane, got them all to the game. He said they went on, win the game, had a great game. He said, but that was Larry Allen. He was like, man of very little words, but you could depend on him.
Yeah.
When game time came, he's like, that part you ain't have to worry about. You ain't never have to worry about what Larry Allen was going to be on game day. But you know, it's unfortunate. And you hear, you know, he said he was on a walk with his wife in Mexico. They were walking, and he said, you know, he said he sat down, and so he sat down and took a deep breath, and then that was it. And it's a stark reminder, just for everybody, man. Life is so precious. And you literally never know. You literally never know when you're going to take your last breath. So it's like these moments when we get a chance to see each other, just be around each other, whether it's your teammates or whoever it is, it's a reminder. Call those people. Tell them I love you. If you have time to spend with them, spend it. Wife, family, kids, girlfriends, sons, daughters, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, whoever it is.
Answer the phone when it rings.
Answer the phone when it rings. If it's Nate, if you got to have 25 minutes, you got to have 25 minutes when Nate calls. If you ain't got 25, then you got to just hit him back when you got 25. But no, it's these moments where, and you know, I had one of my youth football coaches just pass away a couple days ago, and it's a reminder to me that I'm getting to a certain age. Right. In life where those who raised me, who was a part of the foundation of building blocks of my life, are coming to a point of they're reaching their hourglass is coming to an end. And it's just a reminder, man, that you got to love on those people while you can, because you just never know.
Never know. What a way to go, though, man. Around your family, you know, on vacation. Like, it just... You're right. It's a reminder, man. It's like the people that first it starts with the old folks, right? Yeah. Then it starts with the people that are, you know, your parents' age. And then every once in a while, somebody you went to high school with, some freak accident. And then all of a sudden, natural causes. And then all of a sudden, it's like, damn, everybody around me is like, it's just, man, and you can't hit the pause button. No. Like, it just goes, man.
Which one of the offensive linemen, it was either Big E or Larry Allen, like drove like a Porsche or something, a expensive car, and would like spit.
I heard this last night. Somebody told me.
Who was that?
I heard it was Larry.
Was it Larry?
I heard it was a Ferrari.
He's like spit on the floorboard of like
the
passenger side.
Somebody told me that last night. That's funny you brought
That's
that up.
crazy. Like I don't know. It might have been Larry, because they're talking about he always dipped, but he would if he didn't have a dip cup, he just spit in the floorboard of a Ferrari. I
never knew. You would be surprised, unless you've been in that locker room, how many offensive linemen dip while they practice and play.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. Like, I never knew that till I worked for a pro football team, and then it's like, wait a minute, has that dude got a dip? And if you look closely when they do interviews, a lot of the guys over there, they have a dip in when they're doing interviews. Like, I don't know how you do that, because me, I swallow a little bit of spit, and I'm hurtling. They're out there blocking dudes, locking dudes up.
They got it. They got it down. All right.
I got sent a video probably 20 times yesterday of Justin Tuck on the Dan Le Batard show. The one I sent you guys. Yeah. Do you remember that game? He talked about Larry. They asked him the interview was probably 3-4 years ago, and they asked him if he ever played somebody that he could not get past, and he was like Larry Allen. He was like, he would tell you they're coming, and he said he would walk up to the line, and Larry would go, woo woo, like letting you know the play's coming. I'm blocking you. Moose is coming through here, and Emmett's right behind him, and there's nothing you can do about it. He was like, and he goes, you knew it was coming, and Larry would make a choo-choo sound. Do you remember that?
I know this, and I'll tell you a little story. Warren Sapp, and I probably told y'all this before. I was working for ESPN briefly at National, and I was down there to interview someone. And I heard, homeboy, you know how Sapp is. Homeboy, I'm like, I look around, what's up, Sapp? Oh, man, I'm excited to see Sapp. I'm like, Sapp, boy, you really balling. He said, yeah, I'll tell you what. I got Big E. I mean, you got me calling him. Yeah. I got Larry this year. I say, what? He said, I'm playing the Cowboys. I'm going to visit Larry. He said, I want you to call him, homeboy. Call him right now and tell him he ain't faced nothing like this. I looked at him. I said, what? I said, homeboy, I said, you nice, but he said, homeboy, he ain't never seen nothing like this. You call Larry Allen. Now when you get through interviewing whoever you're interviewing. I said, well, okay, no problem. So I called Larry. Larry, what's up, man? I get this laugh, this giggle. I say, man, Warren Sapp said, when this year comes, you ain't experienced nothing like this. You ain't seen nothing like this. I said, what do you think? Once again, I get this little laugh, this little giggle. And he said, okay. And he hung up the phone. I said, all right. I said, Sapp, I told him. He said, I'm telling you, homeboy, I'm going to bring it to him. I said, all right. As soon as the season was over, I don't know where I was, here come Warren said, hey, homeboy. I'm like, what's up, Sapp? What's up? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great. Can you call Larry Allen and tell him I ain't never seen nothing like that? I said, gladly. So I called Larry. I said, Larry, I'm here with Warren, man. I say, Warren said he ain't seen nothing like you ever before. Once again, I get that giggle. And he just said, okay. And I hung up the phone. That was it. He was very consistent.
His Hall of Fame speech, the part that sticks out to a lot of people when he talked about, his dinners. He's like, you tell his old lady, man, give me 2 whole chickens and 2 40 ounces. I said, God, think about that. Like, to drink, I drink a gallon of water a day, and that's tough. Homeboy ate 2 whole chickens and 2 40 ounces.
For dinner.
He was unique, man.
Man. That just shows you, man. Just you. That's the perfect word. Unique. A unique. We got him up today, right there.
Yeah, he unique, man.
Larry Allen, man.
One of the best to ever do it, man. Cowboy legend for sure. Legend in the. There's very few people that you can say how dominant they were, right? Lawrence Taylor, you can think about
but everybody says it.
Right.
It's across the board.
Everybody.
Like, there's no debate. Like you said, like Lawrence Taylor, there's no debate.
Right.
Right? It's like, when you talk about Larry Allen, every single body that talks about him says the exact same thing.
And then you watch the film, and then you watch the plays, and you're like, oh my God.
I saw the clip from John Madden. He did a whole, it was like a 3-minute clip, and John Madden is just like gushing over Larry Allen. And Larry literally is the highlight of this entire drive. And they running left, they running left, they running left, they run up. Oh, they run right, but they don't run right without Larry Allen pulling.
Oh, and when he pulled.
Oh, man, like it was number 62. He whooped on that joker for about 7 straight plays till Emmett walked in the end zone for a touchdown. It was crazy.
Can you imagine being defensive lineman's one thing, linebacker okay, but you're a DB and you're on the edge and that dude pulls and it's coming full steam. Like, what do you do? Some of those DBs are my size, or a little bit bigger. Like, do you just lay down?
Yeah.
You make a business decision.
You retreat, and you say, Coach, what would you do? And then, like, the last one, it was Delaney Walker was talking about, because, of course, Larry finished his last 2 years in San Fran. And Delaney Walker was on a podcast a while ago, and he was talking about Delaney Walker, former NFL tight end. And so he's talking about a time where they were in the locker room, and Vernon Davis, tight end, This was the one that can't win with him. That tight end. And he said he got into it with Larry Allen. And Delaney Walker said, he goes, man, he's like, I'm stuck in what I should do. Because he's like, that's my dog. He's like, Vernon Davis, that's my dog.
And Vernon was a big boy.
Yeah. He's like, but that's my
man.
dog. He's like, you know what I'm saying? But I see him, I see him getting it in with somebody. Then I look.
It's Larry.
And it's Larry. So now he's like, man, what should I do? Because that's my dog. But that's Larry Allen.
Right.
And he said, man, I made a business decision. And he said, Larry grabbed Vernon Davis by his locks. And he said he was rag tossing that joker around. And he said, man, it was nothing I could do. He said, I didn't let it happen. He's like, that's my dog, but I was gonna be two of us getting rag dog around there.
Mr. Allen, please stop.
He said, bro, I had a business decision to make. He's like, that's my dog. He said, but I had to let it happen, man. Like whatever they had to get, they had to get that off. Yeah. So
just let him run out of gas.
Yeah, man. He said, I looked over there. I saw it with Larry Allen. He said, yeah, Vernon, you on your own on this one, brother.
Man.
So rest in heavenly peace to the greatest Cowboys offensive line. Maybe the greatest offensive lineman in NFL history.
Yeah. Man.
Ain't but 5 of them in my book, so.
Yeah.
Well, let's take our first break. When we come back, more things to talk about in Cowboy Land. Lots of sound bites to get through on Hanging with the Boys.
Micah.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. Bing! Bing! So we got a lot to talk about.
I saw blockchain when Dak was doing his interview yesterday. I saw like
the background.
The background is the blockchain step and repeat little thing. Yeah, like blockchain.
Yeah, Dak had some interesting things to say. But first, I've been waiting all week to get in here and talk about this. And I'm looking right at Jesse just because things tend to come around on this show. But we
speak so much truth on this show. It's ridiculous.
I'm really tired of talking about this, but like this, very few things rub me the wrong way. This really, let's just listen and then we can give our 2 cents. Go ahead, Chris.
Honestly, man, me and Zim probably said a total of 20 words to each other. Yeah, he's a very quiet person, and all I keep hearing from the coach is like, Zim likes it this way. I was like, Well, I like it this way, like, you know, so I can't wait to have, like, my true, like, sit down with him. I think it'll be pretty cool because, obviously, old school mindset, old school mentality. But, you know, I think he has a lot of great players, but he ain't never had a Micah before, so it'll be fun, and I think it's going to be unique. There's a lot of similarities on things, how he used me with how Dan used me in the system, but he has more twists and turns of how he's going to set things up. And also, there's some things that I got to get used to, too. You know, it's going to be a compromisable relationship. There's going to be things he's like, I'm not going to give on, I don't give on.
Is that it?
That was the first one.
Okay. So first, it threw me off. I said rub me the wrong way. Let me not say that. Let me just say threw me off. One, him and Coach have only had 20 words between the two, but he already knows how he wants to use him in the system and that he's not going to agree with how he uses him sometimes, but you've only had 20 words. That kind of threw me off. Like, is there a middleman that's Coach is talking to him and then he's going to go, hey, this is the way that this is what you need to be studying. This is what you need to be looking at. This is how he wants you to play.
Yeah, he also said in that clip, he's kind of said, you know, coaches have said to me, like, Mike Zim, coach one like the coach one like, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think there is a middleman. There is whoever his linebacker coach is or whoever's the defensive line, maybe it's Greg Ellis, who can kind of give you that, who kind of plays the former player perspective, pass rusher perspective, but, you know, he has his hand that way. Then he also has his hand in who I'm a coach now. I've been a coach for a long time, and I've played under Zim. So I'm kind of playing both parts. I'm playing the middleman between Zim's message and giving the telephone to Micah Parsons. I think but the first part of that is interesting to me as well. 20 words. I looked it up. Zim was hired around Valentine's Day in February, 13th, 14th, whatever. 20 words between that now, and maybe 20 words is give or take, right? But that's not much conversation.
Right.
From your defensive coordinator and your star
3.5 months,
your star player, right? Like that to me. And then now, if there was 20 words between February and June, what is it going to be? Because Mike is not sticking around here, right? Like he's not staying here. Like he's not going to be at the building like on just random like weeks at a time with Zim. And Zim might not even be in the building. What's the conversation between now and training camp? What is that going to be? Is it going to be another 20 words so we get 40 words in 5 or 6 months? And that's the part that. Let me stop. Go ahead. Let you finish.
No, I mean
you were saying. Go ahead.
No, there's more. I mean, do we have more clips, Chris? Or
yeah, I got you one.
You gonna play another one? Play another one.
The more years you have in, the more you understand that there's also like the business side to it. And, you know, whether I like it or not, there's rookies or people I came with that's not even here anymore, you know, and I think that's what camp is for. I mean, there was a time where Aaron Donald didn't even go to camp and he won Defensive Player of the Year and he realized his team in the playoffs. Like, are we forgetting these times? Like, you're talking about the best defensive player, wasn't even in camp. And we're in minicamp, right? Voluntary at that. So, you know, camp would say something that's mandatory. So I'm just looking at a time for my body to heal. I'm an undersized rusher who gets banged up every year. So I'm just letting my body heal. I'm just trying to grow, strengthen, and really just get ready for the year.
All right, so I'm gonna bag on the media a little bit because we always want players to say. We get mad when they just say, you know,
generic.
Yeah, and they keep it generic. But whenever they talk real and they say what they're thinking, like Micah did, he's saying what he's thinking, right? Like, I'm good. I don't need to be here. This is extra rest for me. I'm gonna go do my own thing. Like, yeah, I'll be there. I'll have it all figured out. Then we analyze it and we cut it up and we talk about it, which that's what we get paid to do, right? Mm-hmm. So like. We kind of want our cake and eat it too. Like we get bored with that other stuff, and then as soon as somebody does something like this, we jump on it and we go, bah, 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 bah. But that's what we do. But at the same time, when you hear something like that, it doesn't happen very often, and it catches you off guard because you're like, whoa, what did he just say? So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. And then there's more. There's more clips, but it's basically Micah saying, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'll be there when it's time to play, and I'll show up, and I'm going to be the best guy on this team, and then I'll figure it out. And
all true, probably.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably going to show up whenever he shows up.
And ball out.
And be the best defensive player that the Cowboys have.
Right.
And fine.
So should we have a problem with what he's saying because he's saying what everybody else is thinking, you know?
I said this when we got to this portion of the year.
And I keep looking at Jesse.
I know. I said this when we got to this portion of the year. With CeeDee, like, I don't worry about guys like Micah not coming in shape. Like, that part I don't worry about.
The system?
That part I don't worry about. CeeDee, another guy. I don't worry about those type of guys. I played with some guys that you need to know, brother, where are you at? What are you doing? Because when we get to August, I don't want to see the double, triple sweatsuits on you. You trying to work yourself in shape. You come in.
Why do I feel like that was coming at me?
No, it's not.
He tried not to look at you. You saw that?
I mean,
that was coming at me? Listen,
sometimes if
I was one of those guys.
You feel like
Big Noon, where you at?
And they used to say, if the shoe fits, wear it, Cinderella. You know what I'm saying? That part I do not worry about at all. The part that I worry about in the long term of this situation is, and he referenced other guys like, you know, and there's been other people who referenced like, well, TJ Watt has missed camp, and all the other guys have missed camp before for whatever, not camp, but OT and stuff like that for other reasons. I want to know, did they have a new defensive coordinator in play? Right? One of the reasons why I don't worry about CeeDee Lamb missing, there's nothing in this offense that he doesn't know. Like, his role in this offense at multiple positions. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. A whole lot would be changing in this new scheme that he's running. New coaches are here, new philosophies, new techniques, new everything. And as the year ended last year, we had conversations about the ability or the lack thereof of the multiplicity of the defense to try to run different things. And so my only concern long term is camp is so limited. It's the days you don't have as much time on the field. You heard him say he want to take care of his body, so there'll be days that he takes off in training camp, like most other players do, not specific to him. The veterans get their opportunity to have off. Trying to ingratiate the rookies into this whole thing, all the while it's going to be difficult to try to learn a new scheme in 4 weeks when you get to training camp. So now when you get into the season, they're still trying, and Nate, you might be spot on this year when you say the first 3 or 4 games of the season, preseason, like the actual regular season games, because
it is.
There's going to be a learning curve that must take place. It's just, there's no way you can put in a new system. They practice for 2 days. They practice for 2 days for OTAs, for mandatory minicamp, 2 days. You mean there's no way you've inserted all that in 2 days?
Because number one, everybody don't learn the same way.
Correct.
That's what like where you use throws you off. Jesse can look at film. Oh, okay, 9 route. Okay, boom. This. Oh, okay. Me, I had to actually run it, and I had to actually see it against a couple of fronts. So coaches knew like, okay, Big Newton got to practice. Even though he got a sore ankle, he going to be out there trying to practice because he's got to go through it. With Stepnoski just, all right, I got it. And that was it.
Hands-on learning. And
now you got to get 11 guys on offense that may learn a little bit differently. 11 guys on defense that may learn. Now, Michael could probably look at film. Okay, I got that. Okay. I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to set that edge, but I understand what you want. Everybody learn a little different. That's why the mesh.
And that's the thing, is that when you come into this year, talking about moving him around, playing multiple positions. It's one thing. If you told me, bro, you just playing rush in. Oh, well, okay.
Right.
All right, just let me know when I'm supposed to set an edge. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't do it.
Right.
Or let me know when I go get the quarterback. But now you're saying, and we know that Zim is talking about, hey, we like to do double-A gap blitzes. We like to line up in these different formations. We like to kind of get a little bit exotic in certain things that we do. We're going to move you around in multiple positions. I just feel like this time was an opportunity to go out there and start getting your feet wet and those type of things. And I get it. Times have changed, right? You can barely touch people now in these mini camps and these OTAs. You get an hour and 10 minutes to do all that kind of stuff. But I said this before, my only issue with Micah is that when you come out and say that you want to be a better leader, when you come out and you say that you want to be X, Y, and Z, and the opportunities present themselves to do so, and I also understand the business side of things. He's not in the. It's not like a contract thing with CD. CD didn't show up because CD's in the point of like I need to get my money. I got no problem with that. Hold out as long as you want. Get your bread, because I am a firm believer. I'm always going to be on the player side, and I want them to get every single red cent they can get from these owners. Every single, because the Jones family will be able to make money off the Dallas Cowboys for 100 more years. When Jerry's going, when Steven's going, when Charlotte going, Shy and the other grandkids and the great-grand, they'll be still making money from the brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Micah, Dak, CD, all the other guys, players, we have a finite, limited time to do so. We gotta make a bunch of money, if possible, in a 1 to average time is 3.5 years, but a 1 to spectacular players.
The fortunate ones 8.
8 to 10 years. I have to make life-changing money, generational wealth, 1 to 8 years.
And you never know when your last play is going to be.
And never
either
know.
From injury or getting cut.
And even if I make great financial outcome from it, it stops the day I start playing.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry never stops making money. It's always, it's a concert, it's this, it's that. It's always going to make mony.
Can we get back on Micah?
So
got him on money.
It's not if it was a contract thing, I'm like, sit out, Micah. Get your money, bro. Right. Get every single dollar you deserve. But the opportunity presented itself for you to be what you said that you wanted to be better at, and you decided to go to Tokyo.
How old is Michael?
24? 24?
I'm
25? 23 maybe?
All I want for Micah is for him to mature as a player.
25.
I just want him to be the best player. He's limiting himself to being a great pass rusher. He's more than that. And that's all I'm going to keep saying. And people say, you can go and tell Micah, Nate is criticizing you. All he wants you to do is be more than what you think you are. So y'all go tell him that. I think he can change games. And I ain't talking about sacking a quarterback. I'm talking about by lining up in this man's defense, Zim defense, dropping back here every now and then, intercepting a pass, hitting a back for a major loss. He can change games. And what Zim is, you said that you was trying to heal your body. And you're undersized this. That is what this coach is trying to do, trying to maximize your talent through efficiency of moving you around and hiding you in a lot of times where you don't have to take these beatings so you don't wear down. So you're saying the right things for yourself, but come in and let the coach show you how he's going to help you too. And like Jesse said, you're trying to get 22 guys on defense to mesh in 4 weeks. And a lot of this is going to be walkthroughs. And then he's going to take his veteran days off.
And
so
no
you don't
preseason
get to,
he ain't playing in preseason games.
Yeah, you ain't getting to work with these guys. And so I'm telling you, I just believe this in the new NFL. The preseason, I don't know what that is, but I do the preseason the first 4 actual games. Because if you can get out of there 2-2, 3-1, you don't have a successful preseason because that's going to help you towards the end of the year. But if you're 0-3 and got to come up out of that hill because you ain't work together as a unit, this team is going to revolve maybe around Micah. I don't know how Zim is going to do it, but his thing is going to have to in the same last year. Micah fizzled out, and the whole defense fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
So it runs around Micah. So
yeah, Micah is the elite game changer.
Yeah.
He helps make Deron Bland and he helps make Trayvon Diggs.
Yes.
He make those guys better. He helps Tank Lawrence be better. He helps guys are going to get paid because of the productivity that and the attention that Micah brings. Like that is the gift and the curse of being an elite player. When you're an elite player, you're going to be granted things that other folks aren't granted, but you also have the ability to go out there and to be dynamic with probably a lot of times little to no effort. Like Micah has the talent where he can get up and just go play football. Like I used to watch Des Bryant.
Wait real quick.
Okay.
Let's take a real quick break because we'll come back.
We up again.
Because we only have like
It's
5
been a
minutes.
good show. It's 9:41.
Take a quick break. Be right back. Des Bryant, hold that thought. Hanging with the boys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection, and sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
James Wright here, your 2022 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year. You know how much I love my Cowboys, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about the 2023 Fan of the Year award presented by Captain Morgan. We're looking for the ultimate Cowboys fan to spice up the game. That means you eat, sleep, and breathe the Dallas Cowboys. If that's you, or if you know someone like me, then go to DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year, and you could win tickets to Super Bowl 58 and so much more. Enter today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final few minutes of Hanging with the Boys. Last segment brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the official dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, Jesse, before we get out of here, Des Bryant.
No, I was talking about Micah and his level of eliteness, and, he is privileged enough by God that while others have to go and do things to get to a level, he's naturally that way. I used to watch Des Bryant. Insane. I used to watch Des Bryant get up in the morning, don't eat breakfast, eat a handful of gummy bears, sour gummy worms, get to the locker room, no hot tub, no cold tub, no icy hot, no Flexol, no nothing. No stretching, put cleats on, barely tie them up, and go out there and wear Mike Jenkins, Terrence Newman, Orlando Scandrick, Alan Ball, wear jokers out. And I used to look at him and be like, golly.
Imagine if you did what you were supposed to do. How good.
I used to watch that. I'm sitting there. I would have to get up 2-3 hours beforehand. Stretch.
It make you mad?
Hot. Yeah. Not mad, but you look at you go.
Yeah.
And to be in the NFL means that you have a gift that is far beyond the normal human being. Then to watch someone else whose gift is more gifted than your 1% gift. And I used to just sit there sometimes and just be like, look at this joker. He didn't even stretch. We in the stretching line, I'm like intensely stretching. He over there talking. He over there. And coach go, all right, let's go. One-on-ones. He the first one in front of the line. Ha, 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 ha. You be like, golly. That's Micah. Micah has that ability where he ain't got to do all that others. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the gift and the curse, because he knows it, we know it, they know it, that he is so gifted that doing the small things, and sometimes what ends up happening is you get later in your career and the gifts kind of fade a little bit, and now you want to dig in and tap into that. Well, what if I do the film a little bit more?
Right.
What if I actually get in and understand the scheme from a safety's perspective? How would that help? You know what I'm saying? You get into all the small little nuances of the game, because now my get off is not my advantage anymore. I got to use my brain. And same thing happened with Dez. When Dez got later in his career and kind of the gifts dwindled because of injuries, it was more so now, hey, I got to try to run routes and understand the offense and the defense better than when it was when I didn't need to. I just said, just throw the ball. Like, hey, throw the ball. I'll do the rest. I ain't got time to worry about what coverage it is. I don't care if it's 2-man or as a rat player. I don't care about none of that. Put the ball up high and watch me go do what I do. And then you, like, one of the greats that was uniquely talented, but also very, very steadfast and understand was Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald he was gifted. Mm-hmm. He was gifted, but Larry loved the game within the game, and that's what enabled him to play beyond the physical gifts. Because early on, he understood how to run routes. He understood coverages. So he was able to do things with his gift that made it. Megatron was like that as well. You have these unique gifts that are more gifted than the other gifted folks, and you worry about the knowledge of the game. I think when Micah comes into that place, and maybe it's maturity, 25 years old, maybe he'll start hitting that, but he is supremely gifted beyond what we could ever imagine. You can't even imagine it. But I think it's the other things that if he really dug into, that he would truly be in that Lawrence Taylor conversation.
Dominant.
He would truly not the fake fluff stuff that y'all kind of throw around, because I ain't never bought into that whole
for real
that Lawrence Taylor conversation. But that part of that truly feared, dominant part of
take over a game,
the conversation,
not disappear.
Yeah,
once in a while. Yeah. Man, I miss watching Dez play. You bringing that up. He used to just go get the ball. Real quick before we get out of here, I know you got Boston. How many games?
This thing gonna go.
That's right. You are a Celtics fan.
Oh, huge. Boo. I got to take Luke out to the Kentucky Fried Chicken. and just win Celtics. That's all I can say. You know, because between him, Kyrie, and Jason Kidd. Oh my God, that's killing me. If I could just get rid of Jason Kidd, because he's got, as Shaq said, he's got the others. Whether they're on the road at home, it's gonna be two of those others that's gonna show up, man.
He's got the perfect personality to manage those two guys.
Yes.
Who you got, Jesse?
I'm keeping it home team.
Let's
go. I'm glad you got on a little green today, though. Look close to green.
This is like the Mavericks. No, this is like the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got Mavs in 6.
Mavs in 6?
Mavs in 7. It's going 7. Mavs in 7.
Now, that means you coming to the crib.
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
You ain't finna win up in Boston, dog. We're going to make sure of that. You coming to the crib, you better go back to 6.
Mavs in 7.
You better go back to 6. Going to be some drama.
You better go back to 6.
The script writers got it right this time. Kyrie going back to Boston. Baby. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Fellas, I'm going to miss
who
you
guys.
Got?
You know,
Mavs. Mavs in 7.
Okay.
Mavs in 7. I'm gonna go Mavs.
You won't get Z7.
No, I actually think Boston's gonna win, but I'm rooting for the Mavs. I'm gonna say Mavs in 7, but I think
Porzingis can give me 15 minutes.
I hope he plays. I hope he does, because I think they're worse with him than they are without him. All right.
Will Micah be at all the games? That's the question.
And what jersey?
Stop.
What jersey will he have?
Stop.
Will he be at the road games and the home games?
That's
you know
what I
he's gonna be
said.
at the home games.
Ooh.
Stop.
Ooh.
It's going to be a month and a half, fellas. I'm going to miss you. But we'll see you. Maybe we can get out to training camp.
All right, Kurt.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kurt, for selling us out.
Thanks, Kurt.
Kurt pulled a Nate this morning, an hour before the show. Forgot to tell you guys.
To tell y'all. I'm on vacation. I'm out.
Yeah. So,
Enjoy
Chris,
yourself.
Thanks for keeping us on the air. What's your man's name back there? Your roommate now?
Josh.
Josh,
Baby-
thanks for keeping
Baby
us on the
Beam.
air. Baby Beam, thanks for chiming in. Jazz, thanks for keeping everybody company. We will be back. Well, we don't even know, but we'll let you know on the website, I guess. See y'all in a month and a
might
half.
not be. Depends.
Thanks for tuning in to the Larry Allen and Micah show.
Yeah.
See you guys in a month and a half.
And Dez, we don't want to forget you.
We don't want to forget you, Dad. Hey, we out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!